Back again on another live fragrance review. And today, well, I'm going to do a review about a fragrance that is not only one fragrance. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that was suggested by one of my friend, a very good friend of this channel, Russell. He asked me to do a fragrance video about alpha male, or let's say macho man's fragrances. And I found the idea pretty nice, so I decided to make this video for real. And why? Because we are going to talk about manly fragrances. We are not going to talk about fragrances that are made for today taste. No, we are going to talk about fragrances from the past, fragrances that they are not anymore maybe very popular as they used to be before, but they are popular among the connoisseurs. So the first is the legendary Puranome by Caron. This fragrance was released in 1932, and this is a lavender fragrance, one of the best lavender in the market. And I think this fragrance really is a perfect gentleman fragrance that any male, any alpha male, any real man should have it in his wardrobe. It's sophisticated, but it's very manly. It's a kind of fragrance that I cherish, and it's always on my wardrobe. Puranome by the House of Caron of Paris. Then we move to another legend that is still there after so long. Old Spice. Old Spice, it's a manhood in a bottle. It's a real fragrance for Mandom. It's a fragrance that you wear when you are sure of yourself, when you know who you are, and when you know that you are not here to joke. You are here to say, I'm here, guys. Whether you like me or whether you dislike me, I don't care. I wear this fragrance because I want to wear this fragrance. And even the current version of Old Spice is fantastic. It's one of my favorite. And I still love it. I still wear it time to time. As an aftershave, it's crispy, it's refreshing, and it's also really spicy. And even though I prefer the vintage version by Charleston, I wear the current version because I don't have any more the vintage version, and I'm not going to look for it because the current version satisfies me. I don't need to search for another fragrance. It's a manhood in the bottle, Old Spice. Fantastic fragrance. Then we move on. Today I'm going to talk about many fragrances, so you have to be patient with me because a friend of us, Russell, he gave me that idea that he wanted to make a video about fragrances of manly fragrances that are popular or unpopular to others. So you have to be patient because I have to find my fragrances and I have to bring them out of the bottle. It's not an easy task. So just stay with me. Bogart Signature. Bogart Signature is a fantastic fragrance. Was released in 1974. It's woody, spicy, also aromatic, with lots of oakmoss, and I don't know if it's still in production or has been discontinued, but if it's still, we can find that fragrance, go for it, because Bogart Signature is the perfect fragrance for an alpha male. It's a fragrance that was made for gentlemen. It's a kind of fragrance that never failed me. And this fragrance, it's the best green fragrance I sniffed. Bogart Signature by Jack Bogart. Great fragrance, great juice. So we move. If you have any question, just punch. I will answer to you guys because I'm here for that. How about this one? Gino by Davidoff, released in the 80s. Fantastic fragrance too. Unfortunately, has been discontinued. Is it still around? You can find it. This fragrance deserves to be discovered by you. This is a dark, this is spicy, this is a kind of fragrance that it's a perfection in the bottle. It's a man in the bottle. This fragrance is manly. It's a real Mandom, and this fragrance is for alpha male, no doubt about it. It's not for kids. We have to separate kids from the real man, and this is what I'm talking about. This is a fragrance. Once you wear, you confirm yourself that you are sure of yourself. You are a real man. You are not a boy. You wear nicely. You wear a sophisticated leather jacket. You wear also a fantastic gold chain. You got hairy chest, and you know what you are, and you know who you are. Gino by Davidoff, one of my favorite all-time fragrances. I love this fragrance. Sadly discontinued. Go and ask why. Go and ask why, but still you can have it. Still you can even find it for a very low price. Get it before the price soar up, because later will be too late, my friends. Gino by Davidoff. Who's the next? The next on this line will be another fantastic fragrance that everybody knows. It's Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. Paco Rabanne Pour Homme is a green, it's mossy, it's a perfection in the bottle. And I love this fragrance. I really love this fragrance because this fragrance, it's all a man need. Green, mossy, little bit soapy, very clean, very sophisticated. This fragrance is perfection in the bottle. What do you mean it's not for me? Do you know me who I am? Don't talk about the rubbish here, okay? If you don't like, just switch. What do you mean it's not for me? It's for me, buddy, okay? Be polite, be humble, respect the rules, otherwise, beat it. So this is a fragrance that I've been talking about. Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, released in 1974. Fantastic fragrance. And this fragrance is a kind of fragrance that timeless. It's a timeless beauty. Hopefully it's still around. The current formulation is a little bit less mossy, is a little bit less strong as before, but still is fantastic. Paco Rabanne Original, the green monster, I call this fragrance. I love it. Fantastic fragrance. Give it a try. You might love it. A true timeless classic by the house of Paco Rabanne, and maybe the best release by the house of Paco Rabanne. I love this fragrance. Now we move. We move to another alpha male fragrance. Sex Appeal by Jovan Musk. We are not kidding. Fragrance is made. Yeah, exactly. Charles Bronson. Yeah, you're right. Charles Bronson, he was an alpha male, and that's why his picture is behind. Jovan Musk Sex Appeal is an ambery. It's a kind of fragrance that is herbal, very close to, how we can say, Pierre Cardin Monsieur, but a little bit more darker, a little bit more ambery, and still the current version, perfect. The current version do the job. And it's a kind of fragrance that is very cheap, but I love it. And really, really, it works. Okay, no problem. Now you said, I understand, no problem. I didn't say it's me. I said this is an alpha male video, and it's dedicated to one of my favorite hero, Charles Bronson, aka Paulkersey. So Jovan Musk Sex Appeal. It's a fragrance that's It's manhood in the bottle. It's definitely for guys between 25 or 45 with hairy chests, gold chains, and those guys that they are not scared to confirm that they are real dudes. They are not kids. They are not here to fool around. They are there to just say what they are. Sex Appeal by Jovan. Fantastic fragrance too. I love it. I really love it. I love all of them. That's why I started to make this video, because that was a bright idea from my friend Russel. Russel Borrego. This guy, he got a bright idea sometimes. Okay, now we are getting to another classic. Brut by Fabergé. The Essence of Man. This fragrance is another timeless fragrance. This fragrance is another fragrance that it's not for kids, definitely. The current version is not good as before, but still it's very cheap. This is a French version. I love it. Reminds me more of Brut 33 than Brut Original. Also, it's very close to Sartorial by Penhaligon's. But Penhaligon's definitely copied on Brut. Brut is a legend. Brut, it's a fragrance for man. They call it the essence of man. Timeless, sexy, definitely for alpha males, definitely for macho man, definitely for guys that they are real dudes. This fragrance is not for boys. I'm sorry, boys. Keep it away from Brut. It's not for you. Doesn't smell like a toffee. Doesn't smell like a white chocolate. Doesn't smell like a cup of hot chocolate. This is a fragrance for real men. Brut, the essence of man. And if you can find Brut by Fabergé, I know the prices are very high, but give it a try, because it's worth to have it. It's worth to smell it, how it really smelled when it was at its height. Because unfortunately, current version, the Brut by the new version is very toned down, very watered down, and this is not what it used to be. What about Havas? Havas is a fantastic fragrance, but little bit cloying, so I didn't put on my list because it's very strong. But it's a manhood fragrance. Of course, it's a very manly fragrance by Rasasi. I'm sure it's a kind of fragrance that fit for lots of circumstances. But I wanted to talk about the legendary, the vintage, great fragrance of the past. Maybe I will include Havas by Rasasi in another list, but not today. But it's a great fragrance. Brut by Fabergé, timeless, fantastic fragrance, and it was called the Essence of Man. Fantastic. I love it. So now we move. I'm going to introduce to you another fragrance. And it's not an easy task to bring them out of a box, but you have to be patient. Mandate. Mandate, Club de Nuit, Creed Aventus and Club de, I don't consider them as a manly fragrance, as the vintage fragrances I'm talking about. Those fragrances are nice, but they are good for the taste of today. I'm talking about vintage fragrances from the 60s, 70s, up to 80s. Not fragrances from today. Good morning, how are you, everybody? Yeah, Club de Nuit, it's nice, but it's nice if you like Aventus. If you don't like Aventus, then obviously you will not enjoy wearing Club de Nuit. So let me back to what I'm talking about. Mandate. Mandate was released in 1978 by Shulton. A fantastic fragrance that fortunately is now still in production, but it's still in production by Eden Perfumes UK. And this is a very manly fragrance, very sophisticated fragrance, elegant, spicy, mossy. Reminds me a lot of Givenchy Gentleman Original. It's still there. You can find it on the market. Mandate. Give it a try for those who like that kind of scent. Ambery, honeyish, fantastic fragrance. Love it, love it, love it. Mandate. First was released under the Charlton licenses, but now it's not Charlton anymore because Charlton doesn't exist. So yeah, give it a try. You might love it. Now we are going to another legend. Come on. Denim. The legendary denim. The fantastic fragrance that everybody remember, the advertisement of denim, and this fragrance is still shining bright. It's a fantastic fragrance. Once you wear it, you really love it. And why does it smell good? Because it is mandatory. That's what, absolutely. Denim is still there, is an Italian fragrance, but also was an American fragrance at the beginning. I think was first launched by Fabergé, and then the license went to the Italian company. Is still there, so it's a kind of very, very 70s fragrance, very sexy, spicy, mossy kind of fragrance that they don't make nowadays. This is not a toffee fragrance. This is not a sweet fragrance. This is not a fragrance like Scandal by Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is a fragrance for real dudes. This is a fragrance that you wear, you go outside, you want to say who you are, you want to have a fun, and this is a kind of panty dropper. This is a kind of sex appeal magnet, and the chicks, they come over you, and those are the chicks, those are the broads that they know what they are. Real alpha males. They are not there. They are not outside to fool around with kids. Denim, fantastic fragrance. Give it a try. Even now, it's one of the best in the market. I can tell you. Very cheap. You can have it for $20, $25 maximum, not more. Great fragrance. Great deal. Denim, I love it. Sorry, guys. Those bottles are all... I have to unbox them because I keep them in the box. How can you talk about a manly fragrances without talking about Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche? Fantastic fragrance. This fragrance was, when it was released, it was immediately in a smashing hit. Top seller. Still now is a top seller. Well, I don't like too much the current version by L'Oreal, but still it's a still very close to the original version, less potent, less darker, and less heavier than the original version, but still it's fantastic, very cheap. You can have a big bottle for $20, $25. It's worth to have. It's a nostalgia in the bottle. It's a manhood in the bottle. It's definitely an alpha male fragrance. No doubt about it. Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche. I call it the Dark Knight. This fragrance, it's not a failure. This fragrance was a panty dropper in the 80s. And I remember because that was my time, that was my era. I was always smelling Drakkar Noir in the clubs, in the nightclubs, in the parties, and broads were mad about Drakkar Noir. Drakkar Noir, the Dark Knight, the panty dropper, the king of panty dropper in the 80s. Give it a try. Still, it's worthwhile. If you are searching for those type of fragrances, then you should give it a try. Duke de Vervennes Extreme is Drakkar. Drakkar always got me compliment in 2012 when I was in a retail loss prevention. Yeah, Drakkar, yeah, Duke de Vervennes too. The one that is very close to Drakkar is Lomani Prome. It's a clone of Drakkar, really. Drakkar Noir, even now, even on 2025, it's a fantastic fragrance. If you are searching for a kind of beast, no, it's not a beast anymore. But still, if you wear it, you can have it for on your skin for 5 to 6 hours. The longevity is very decent, but it's not anymore the beast it used to be. Definitely. But it's a great fragrance. It's nostalgia in the bottle. It's a fragrance that I cherish and I remember it all my life, and I will have it all my life in my wardrobe. Drakkar Noir by Gila Roche, The Dark Knight. So we move to the next. Not easy. Not easy, come on. Not easy. Antaus by Chanel. Man, this fragrance is something. This is a perfection in the bottle. Created in 1981 by Jack Porge for the House of Chanel. This is a masterpiece in the bottle. This is the perfection in the bottle. One of the best leather fragrance I ever sniffed. Spicy, leathery, mossy, dark. It's a perfection in the bottle. It's the manly fragrance. It's absolutely. Antaeus was a half god in the Greek mythology. This fragrance, it's one of a kind. You never had anything similar to Antaeus before, and you never had anything similar to Antaeus after. Still a compliment getter, still a very unique fragrance, and when I wear it, I still get compliments. I really get compliments when I wear Antaeus. My wife loves this fragrance on me. The current version is okay, but of course is not as good as before. This bottle is from 1997, so it's considered very close. The formulation is very close to the original Antaeus, but the Antaeus today is okay, but I think has been too over reformulated and is not good as it used to be. It still is a great fragrance, but I prefer the vintage version definitely. But give it a try, or try to find the vintage version of Antaeus, the king of fragrances, the king of fragrances that are so unique that we don't dare to make those fragrances anymore because they are expensive, the formulation is tough, and nowadays the fragrances are mostly made by computers or AI. You know, a couple of notes they mix up and they release, and the fragrances today are not made to last. The fragrances of today are made to be only available for 1 or 2 years, and then another flanker will replace the prior ones. But before the fragrances were made to last. Fragrances were made to endure, which is not the case anymore. Anyway, every connoisseur knows that Antaeus by Chanel is not only a fragrance, it's not only a masterpiece, it's a king of fragrances. And I really mean it. Antaeus by Chanel. Give it a try because this fragrance, it's really one of a kind. And I love this fragrance. You know, those fragrances are not made to vanish. Those fragrances are here, and they are here to stay, and they will stay in our scent memory as forever, I can. So I move and I go to another fragrance that I really like, and this is Character by the House of Daniel Hechter of Paris. Another great fragrance, another fragrance that has been reformulated but is still available, and another fantastic fragrance that I really love the smell. The smell reminds me a lot of Derby by Guerlain, but still it's a fragrance that has its own mark. Leather, mossy, very close to Derby by Guerlain, and it's a kind of fragrance that once you sniff, you will not forget it easily. Character by Daniel Hechter. Of course, the current version is less good. If you can find the vintage version, then you are scoring. Try to score the vintage version. The current version is okay, but it's not a masterpiece at it used to be the vintage version. But still, it's a fantastic fragrance, and I love it. So I really tell you that I love this fragrance. Because some fragrances are okay, some fragrances are fantastic, and some fragrances are, yeah, you can wear it, you know, and some fragrances are just good for trash. So Antaeus by Chanel and Character by Daniel Hechter are two great fragrances that I really love, always to have it in my collection, because those fragrances that I'm telling you I'm talking about to you today are all very dear to me, and they are in my collection. So today, I really wanted to take more time, and this is another one, the one that I love the most. Givenchy Gentleman Original, released in 1974. Fantastic fragrance. This is a current version. Even the current version is great. And this fragrance was made by Paul Leger under the supervision of Hubert de Givenchy. Russian leather, spices, moss, oak moss, and also herbal notes. Fantastic fragrance. Once you wear it, definitely you feel the vibes of the 70s. You feel the vibes of the fragrances that 70s male were wearing, which is not the case anymore. This is not a fragrance for kids. This is a fragrance for real alpha male. And Givenchy Gentleman Original still available with the current version. The current version is good. You can find the vintage version. It's a lot better because the patchouli is more stronger. The oak moss is stronger, and the leather is more stronger than now. But if you cannot find the vintage version, just give it a try. The Givenchy Gentleman Original. Remember, Givenchy Gentleman Original, you have to ask. Because they release also a new Givenchy Gentleman line, which I don't like. But this one, fantastic. This one is one of my top favorite fragrances. Givenchy Gentleman Original from 1974. Guys, you gotta wear that. Give it a try. Those fragrances are fantastic, and I am not joking with you. And I'm going to finish this fantastic formulations of the fragrances with the king of the kings, Aramis. Aramis, the fragrance that was released in 1964 by the house of Aramis, which belonged to Lauder, is a Chypre fragrance. Perfumer was Bernard Chon. Is one of the best fragrances, timeless fragrance. It's definitely an alpha male fragrance. And this fragrance was made to endure. The line of gentleman collections by Aramis also included lots of great fragrances like Aramis Devin, Toscan, Aramis Toscani, Aramis also 900, but has been discontinued, unfortunately. But the Aramis original is still in production. You can have it, and even the current version is fantastic. You can find the older fragrances from Aramis. Give it a try. The vintage were awesome, but even this one lasts on my skin for 7 hours. Oh man, I cannot live without Aramis. Aramis, I cannot live without Aramis, without Gentleman by Givenchy, without Anateus, and without Character. Those are my top 5 alpha male fragrances, and I include Drakkar Noir. So that's it, my friends. That's my alpha male fragrances for today. I can include more because there are more that I can talk about it. But that is enough. Enough is enough. Thanks for being here. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And I can talk more about it. And have you ever heard of this Cantier fragrance by Dior called Cat Piece? That one I never tried. I don't know what is. Sorry, I cannot give you information. It's on the exclusive line, Cat Piece. This is my take on vintage alpha male fragrances that might be also endorsed by Charles Bronson because he was an alpha male, and alpha males are always needing to wear something that bring out your personality. Should be a fragrance, should be a statement, should be a signature scent. Once you enter a room, oh, Rick is there. That's what alpha males fragrances are here. Have a great weekend. Talk to you very soon. Thanks for being here, and thanks for listening to me. I'll be back soon with another fragrance review for sure. God bless you all. Stay fragrant. Bye-bye.